El Jefe, Mr. Glass Half Full, the revival.
Boy, Eli Rex, aka Vibes, and welcome to New York Revival with sports entertainment. And I'm here with my brother, man. You guys know what it is, and that's Mr. Glass Half Full of Nets. Speed if you nasty now.
Let's go.
Let's go. And I'm here, of course. My brother El Jefe is off today, man. He's been taking a lot more time off, man, going golfing or something. I don't know what he's doing.
Hey.
But of course, man, he is off for the night, man, doing his thing. A shout out to you. Yes, you, the revivalist in the chat. Please hit that thumbs up, share, and subscribe. We do appreciate all the support tonight, guys. We got a lot to talk about, man. We also got the revivalist of the month stopping by here about maybe a quarter into the show, maybe about 8:45-ish. She'll stop by, man. Seize the moment. We do appreciate you. Don't forget, guys, we pick revivalists of the month every month, or we try to, if we're not drunk enough, to come on the show and just chop it up with us for about a good 10-15 minutes, right? So you can be that revivalist of the month very shortly. Of course, have to seize the moment. We'll get another one in here. And,
just bring the energy, right? Like we just like your positive energy. Get after, be smart with your talk to us. Just have fun with us, and hey, you too could join us and have a chat with us. Let's go.
Listen, man, no pressure. No pressure.
Yeah, pressure. No. You guys are the best out there. We enjoy you. So we want to have each one of you guys up a month to have some real good, face-to-face time. So that's what we do this for.
I just want to say, pressure. I see you in the chat, man. You might as well get your camera ready one of these months. I'm so kidding. Don't do that. That'll be funny though. That'll be great. But guys, listen, man, we got a lot of stuff to talk about, obviously. But first, guys, we want to talk about the New York market. Obviously, we still got March Madness coming. We got spring training that is here now. We got Jets and Giants talk. So let's get right into it, man. March Madness. Holy cow!
It's going down.
Off this weekend. Speed. I just want to ask you this. Of course, the local that we have is St. John here in the area, right?
Oh,
despite all that, man, who is your team? Who's going to go all the way for you at this point?
Well, listen, it's a shame. Seton Hall and St. John's both got fucking snubbed. They got left out. Not even a chance to get in the Final Four. Pissed off about that. Rick Pitino's pissed. We're all pissed off. Having said that, I know it's my favorite time of the year. All the conference tournaments are over. Now the big thing goes down. I personally am a North Carolina fan. I grew up as a Jordan fan. Love that North Carolina blue, so I always root for my Tar Heels. They are one of the favorites. They're a number one seed. I got them going, going the distance, baby, because I gotta be a little biased. That's my squad. But UConn's gonna be right there. And we'll see. After that, it's a slugfest. It's gonna be fun to watch. First weekend, I take off on Friday. Me and the boys go out. We golf. We watch basketball. So I got a nice little weekend set up for myself. Got a nice little weekend, and I'm gonna have myself. Let's make some bets, win some money, watch my bracket. There's nothing better in the world. There's nothing better in the fucking world.
Listen, man, I might have to call out one of these weekends, man, just to see, man, just to get in the vibe, get in the feel. Bro. You know what I'm saying? I might have to do that, man, and do that. You know what I mean? Listen, we might have to go to Tommy's or something. Just saying. We might have to go to Tommy's.
Don't tempt me with a good time. I always say it.
Just say we might have to stop by there. We might have to be continued on that.
I feel you though, but listen, this is kind of like today. The next couple of days, like the calm before the storm, right? It's on so many levels. It's after free agency, it's after Selection Sunday. Everything's about to ramp up. Knicks, Rangers, right there. They're starting to ramp up. Baseball is starting to ramp up. Calm before the storm. So we're trying to get back and just breathe. And let's talk, E. What you got on your mind? Anything?
I respect that, man. Listen, we're going to get into a lot of stuff, man. Of course, we've seen a lot of X action too today. A lot of rumor reels, etc. happening. So we're going to talk about all that stuff too, because I see the chat going crazy. And shout out Kevin, man. Ricky, we're going to talk about that later on in the show. But first, let's pay these bills before we get the revivalists of the month in here. Let's continue to pay these bills, man, because right now you got both teams. MSG, man, is rocking. The Knicks and the Rangers actually doing pretty damn well at this point. Now, the Rangers, of course, is going for the Presidente, del Presidento. Do you want them to win at this point, man? Because don't forget, it's kind of like a jinx, right?
President's Cup. If those who don't know, it's awarded to the best team in the regular season. So the team with the most points. The Rangers are right there with the Bruins and Panthers. They're jockeying for position. But there's a couple teams right on their asses too, so they have to keep playing. I feel like the Knicks and Rangers are in the same kind of pace. They're a couple games from tops in their own division conference, but any kind of slip up, and you could stumble down those standings, and you don't know where you're going to end up. So Rangers keep the pedal to the metal. Right now it's tied 1-1 today, last I saw, but they're hot. Igor is hot. The team, the guys that they brought in via trade deadline, they fit like a puzzle. Everything's looking good. They're hot right now, so I'm not worried. Lindgren went down. One of their best defenders went down. Truba's going to come back soon, but Lindgren will be back. He'll be back for the playoffs. They're just taking a little bit of time off their legs in the way I look at it. Heal up, get healthy, get ready for the stretch run. Maybe get some rest for Fox too. But they're doing all right.
Yeah, listen, Lindgren takes Pickens and hopefully keeps on ticking at this point. I think he's had a rough year as far as injury. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Speed. You are correct.
Hopefully, man, that he's able to heal up pretty quick because again, we need that defender out there, man. You know what I mean? Like I want to, like Speed got to be the year, bro.
It's
they're just too red hot. You know what I mean? But we all know when these, But we all know when we look at these teams that are just red hot, man. And when you talk about the Presidential Cup, right? You're talking about people that can fizzle out at any given moment, especially winning that best record, right? So keep all of that jinx over there.
It's like the Madden curse, right? It's like the Madden curse. Like you win this thing and you're out first round. Like, come on. You don't have to get it. Just focus on the long-term goal. 16-game season after once the playoff starts. You just got to get 16 wins. But actually,
I'm nervous. I'm nervous for the boys.
I'm nervous for the boys. Listen, I'm nervous for the Knicks. They're about to get into the playoffs and be a high seed for the first time in a while and just be expected to go do something this time, right? But they got to get OG healthy. They got to get Randall healthy.
His elbow was still flaring up, man. So I'm really concerned on what he's gonna be throughout the playoffs, or as if he's gonna come back for the playoffs. You know what I mean? So anytime an elbow and etc. flare is a little more deeper issue than what they're letting on, unfortunately. You know what I mean? So I'm just hoping we get Randall back. If OG becomes healthy, then I think we could possibly make some noise. And we just got to keep up with Boston, even though a lot of people are picking Boston to win it all this year. At least we got a fighting chance. You just never know, especially when the army is formed. I just think that we can have a fighting chance and actually play those guys and hopefully win a game, or at least take them down to a 7-game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm hoping, man. I'm not afraid of no one else. Man. Give me Boston, but let me get healthy first. Like the Knicks got to get healthy first. But like I said, I'm nervous, man. This is this New York revival we've been talking about all these freaking years. So the Giants ain't doing it. Might as well be the Knicks and the Rangers at this fucking point. You know what I mean? So we'll see.
Hey, let's hope it's not let's hope it brings back 94 vibes. Where they're both. There wasn't any, the law of MSG. They were both good at the same time. Let's hope that they both could just get healthy at the right time. Yeah. And once you're in the playoffs, man, especially in hockey, it's always it's a free for all. It's who gets hot at the right time, and you just got to stay healthy and get your way through and survive in advance. But it should be a fun spring and a fun summer for those teams. I'm looking forward to it, man.
Yeah, I totally agree, man. Let's get right into it, man. We got the revivalists of the month in the building, man. We got to seize the moment up in here. Now, before we get into anything, brother C's here, I just want to go through one more thing here, my brother, right? And I just want to get this idea out the way, man, because you got the Yankees and etc. coming back, man. Can we dive in a little bit of baseball here, Speed? Because I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. Like I really want to start getting into it heavy. Like really heavy as far as the Yankees and etc. Listen, the Mets are the Mets. I know you're a Mets fan. We don't talk about
board, baby.
You don't talk about. I'll tell you this. You know what, Speed? You know what? Nobody knows that you're a Nets fan, actually, right? And we actually converted you to be.
I was.
Here's the thing, Speed. I'm willing to do this year for you, and only for you this year.
Oh, I want to hear this.
On that streak the Knicks is on as of right now, I will be a Mets fan for the entire year. Now, I'm telling you right now. I don't see it happen.
You picked a bad year to do this.
At all, by the way. At all. God. But I figured, why not throw my hat in the ring? Because you know why I did that?
Okay.
You know why
a miracle happens.
Exactly. You never know. A miracle has to happen for me to switch over to the Mets.
Okay.
But tell me how you feel about this Mets squad, man. And what's are you hopeful, of course, with this year?
I wouldn't say hopeful is the word. That's so it feels like this is an in-between year, right? Like last year they spent like crazy amount of money, most money in the sport ever, any sport. Didn't work. This year is almost like a reset year. They're trying to figure out which of these young guys, because they have a nice little farm system, which one of these young guys you're gonna take forward with them. Next year, big free agency class, they're hitting that hard. Right now, they got a good lineup, good bullpen. Their fucking starting pitching is just it could be decent or it could be an absolute worst in the league. So I'm worried. They lost their ace. He's got a shoulder injury. Much like the Yankees, there's just a lot of question marks, and it doesn't seem like their year. But hey, crazier shit's happened. We have a good lineup. We have Alonso, Lindor, Frankie Alvarez, man, a stud catcher, going to be one of the best catchers in the league this year. There's some positive to look forward to, but I'm the least optimistic that I've been on the Mets in a long time, and we'll just hope for next year. Let's see some progress. Stock the farm system, and we're going to take Juan Soto from the Yankees after this offseason. I'm telling you.
By the way, Spee, I see the chat going crazy, man. They are really laying in all the Mets right now. They are not Mets fans in this chat, by the way.
It's all right.
I'm not clicking the button. The last time I clicked the button to try to highlight something, hold on one second. I'm sorry, Spee. The last time I clicked the button to try to highlight something, I'll pull up the worst comment known to man on the last pod. So I can't do it.
Yes.
I can't do it. I'm sorry, but I'm looking at the chat. Shout out to the chat.
We have a lot of people that are just coming after me. It's just, what? It's fine. It's hard to be a Met fan. I'll tell you what. You have to have balls to be a Met fan. Anybody could be a Yankee fan, okay? Anybody. Yeah. You've won 27, 28, whatever, championships. It's hard to be a Met fan. And you know what? I stick through it, through thick and thin. We're going to be brighter at the end of the day. Our outlook is going to be brighter. We have the best, most expensive owner in the sport. We're going to be back. And we're going to take New York back. Don't you worry. But listen, the Yankee fans...
Oh my!
You're right. Listen, the Yankee fans have bigger shit
to drinking on it. Guinness extra stout again, haven't you?
You're right. They have bigger fish to fry. Like their Cy Young winning starting pitcher, ace, being down for 1 to 2 months, baby. Elbow issue. That's, to me, elbow screams like red flag. Just like so that they need him to go. And then Judge, oblique. Your two best guys. I don't know, man. I don't know. All I'm saying is Yankees have a lot to overcome too. Both could have very good offenses. Both could be good teams, but it's not rosy right now. This is the least rosy we've been of a long time in New York baseball.
I think one team will definitely prevail out of that, and we all know it's the Yankees. Speed. I'm just saying. It's all going to be the Yankees. We know they're going to come out on top, but we'll see. We'll see how the year goes.
We shall be the Mets, see, sir.
If anything, we'll sit.
We're getting cooking though.
Well, yeah. For sure.
A little bit later on in the process. Right now, we have bigger fish to fry as a city. We have right now on deck. We have Giants, Jets free agency, and we have Mets and Rangers. We have the Rangers and Knicks right in the thick of things. So we'll get to you, baseball. We'll get to you, but we have more.
We'll get to you. But guess what, guys? Of course, we got the revivalist of the month seize the moment into the building, and we got a great topic to talk to him about. But before we do that, man, let's bring our guy in here. This is how we're going to do revivalist of the month from now on.
Ooh.
We're going to have the first, because we're going to do more like multi-platinum revivalists, because you guys are going to be doing this more than once, I'm sure. And we're going to pick you guys. So this is the one time. Can he do it for the next month? We got the always supportive, always super chatter here in the building. I want everybody to give a round of applause for Mr. Seize the moment. Round of applause.
Let's go.
Round of applause.
Seize.
Round of applause. My brother Seize.
What's
going on, Revivalist of the Month? How are you, brother?
I'm good. I'm well. All is well. How are you fellas doing?
We're chugging along.
Doing great. Your audio sounds good. Your picture sounds great, so we do appreciate that. Don't stab at anyone, Richard. No, I'm kidding, brother. I'm kidding, brother Rich. I'll see you in the chat, by the way. Shout out, Rich, man. We're gonna put him back on, by the way. But shout out to you, man.
I brought out my double oaked.
Hey,
bourbon. So
crack that open right now.
Cheers. Pour you one, bro. Let's go.
I don't normally drink on school nights, but
hey, Special night.
You guys.
Let's go. Cheers, buddy. Cheers. Oh, good stuff. Good stuff.
You know.
Hey, man, we appreciate you for coming on. I don't know.
Tiki
What do
Bar
you
will
want
be
to talk
proud
about
of
with C's?
Listen, there's a couple things we want to talk about, C's. All right. Things first, man. All the rumor reel that you guys been hearing about Daniel Jones, we're going to break that down in a second. But, you know, I just want you to put yourself in Daniel Jones's shoes for a second here, C's. Okay. You hear all the rumors that the Giants could be trading up for your replacement, knowing that you have about a good $40 million left on the table to play. You've been singing, some fans has been harassing you, and you're like, chill. But you're walking in, you're Daniel Jones right now. How would you feel, man, walking around that facility? Do you feel like your job is on the line at this point, brother, if you're Daniel Jones?
Yeah, I'm gonna flood my resume out on ZipRecruiter.
Facts.
I respect
it. You can count your days numbered. Unfortunately, it didn't work out here, and there's nothing wrong with that at all, right? No. But we're a storied franchise, right? Like we're a storied franchise, and I think that we've been wallowing in mediocrity for too long, in my honest opinion. And unfortunately, he's gonna have to go. He's the last of that era, that generation that hey, can we make it work for Eli? Hey, can we win while we rebuild type deal, in my opinion. And I think that's the end of him, if you want my honest opinion.
Let
me ask you
what
this.
I want to know. Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Speed.
No, yeah. What I'm trying to put myself in his shoes a little bit. It's like, imagine like you just signed a new contract and you're at this company that you finally had your best year, and then you start off. You got a brand new contract. You start off the next year bumpy. Then the season-ending injury, and then right now. It feels like nobody's got his back, right? Like there isn't even a threat of a mutiny between the Daniel Jones side of the locker room and the other. Like, imagine your whole organization and teammates maybe like probably out on you every day in the news. You're hearing you're going to get drafted. I have to feel for the guy a little bit. Listen, he's a big boy and he put himself in his own position by not performing. You asked for $40 million, you got a $40 million target on your back. But man, part of me is like, damn, this guy can't catch a break. Everything. I hope he doesn't have social media. I hope he deleted it.
Oh no, he does. Listen, and I'll put myself in Daniel Jones' shoes a little bit, right? Hearing all these rumors and etc., man, you're human. You're human. So you got to understand, like, man, my time could possibly be up, not only with the New York Giants, but maybe in the league. Because don't forget, man, these people talk around the league, right? Like, they understand that Daniel Jones lacks something. And I don't know if a team is willing to put anything behind Daniel Jones at this point besides maybe a backup role. But even that is just like, man, I don't know. I don't know any team to take a stab at it. So we'll see, man. But I'll tell you this, man, I'll be really worried about my career at this point. Because I'm like, man, either I got to figure this out or I might be out the league or second worst or the first worst, I guess. I could be a backup. And that's something no player wants to be, is a backup to anyone. So, I'm scared, man. I'm scared for my career. I'm scared for anything that's happening because once you leave the New York market, you're kind of dead, unfortunately. So if I'm Daniel Jones, I'll be really worried. Or the light bulb's got to click on for me and I got to figure this stuff out. We'll see.
So can I ask you this, right?
Yeah.
Ask away, sir.
He didn't ask to get pick 6, right? He didn't say, "Ooh, no. pick me," right?
Not at all.
But like, heavy is the crown that the king wears, right?
Yeah.
So
pick one.
So I mean, in reality, if he was not the 6th pick, let's say he was a 2nd rounder, a 3rd rounder, right? Like they had said that he was supposed to be. Mm-hmm. I do wonder if this franchise would really, or the fan base, I'll say the fan base he wouldn't be so polarizing left or right? But because you're 6th, because Barkley was 2nd, you're such a high pick, man, that like this, this fan base is like, yo, like you owe us 2 pounds of flesh and 2 pints of blood. And unfortunately for him, he's just going to be like, collateral damage. For lack of better words. I mean, listen, if the guy threw 20 touchdowns and 8 picks, you can have something to go off of. But I've seen, I watch you guys whenever I can. I've been working a lot lately, but like y'all know he ain't got it.
You just know.
He ain't got it.
Yeah.
So
he looks like
let's
deer in headlights. That's the problem.
Yes,
exactly. And let's hypothetically speak, right? Let's say if he was a late round pick at this point, what you see in his totality, as far as 5-6 years that he's been in the league,
he wouldn't have been given
let's
that.
say he was a second, third, he's just not good enough. So I think the fans wouldn't be as lenient, because I think a lot of fans are lenient now because a lot of people want to keep him. You know what I mean? So I think they'd be like, really, even those Daniel Jones truthers, if he was a second round pick, they're going to like, get rid of the guy. He's a bum. But I think the fact that he's a first round pick, they're like, oh my God, just got to give him a chance. He could be great. No, we're seeing the eye test, and my eye test hasn't failed me yet. Hasn't failed me yet. You know what I mean? So this guy, I just don't think has the talent, unfortunately. Now, can he make throws and stuff like that? Sure. I've seen Daniel Jones make some pretty good throws. You know what I mean? But as far as his decision making, it's really, really tough for him to last in the NFL because he can't break down defenses in 3 to 5 seconds. He's holding on to that ball way too long. You know what I mean? So, and with that, the next thing is the best ability is availability. I keep telling that. The guy hasn't been on the field enough to even grow as a player at this point. So it's just added and a lot of people go, man, he took us to the playoffs. But even then, those numbers were bottom 20, right? Or 20. So again, it's just hard to argue that he's our franchise quarterback as of right now. And I think the Giants have to make a decision coming up in this draft, which we'll talk about. But I don't know, Cease. I think that, the jury would have been out a long time ago if he was a third or second pick.
I think we know where he stands here. So let's ask the next question. Who's your guy? Who do you want to replace him with? Are you trading up? Are you staying at 6? What would seize the GM?
Man,
how would he seize the moment?
You guys get right after it, man. Like if I ever met you guys at a bar, it would be like, "Yo, we're doing shots." The moment you get
here. Right into it. Right into it.
You guys get right after it. I love it.
Which we do.
I absolutely love it. At 6, it all depends on who's on the board. I can't even lie to you, right? At 6, I would love to get another quarterback, right? Because if you get a quarterback, you've solved basically. Let me
lay it out for you like this: Caleb, May, Daniels off the board. 1, 2, 3. And Marvin Harrison Jr. goes at 4, and let's just say Neighbors goes 5.
Ooh, Speed, that's hard.
What's the deal here?
Okay.
So if that's the way the board breaks, right? I'm looking at taking probably my man Rome, only because I would love to be able to get back into the first round and get a quarterback late, whether that's McCarthy, whether that's Penix, even if it's Drake May, if he falls, one of the two, right? Because I think that our wide receiver core is lacking, right? And although, like I said, I want a quarterback, so I don't want Twitter to roast me.
Yeah.
Right.
We're not gonna be in a duffel bag like it did for the.
I want to make it clear. I want to make it clear though that if you can add a generational wide receiver like a Odell Beckham once was to Eli Manning, or vice versa, however you view that, I think it helps the maturation process of the next quarterback coming in, because you have a stud on the outside that's going to command attention. So you're going to get certain looks, or you won't get certain looks because you have that attention on the outside, right? So if you're asking me, gun to my head right now, March 19th, like, yeah, I'm taking the uber athletic wide receiver, and I'll come back and I'll get a quarterback later on if I can get back up into the draft. If you're telling me,
I love where your head's at.
Now, if you're telling me, listen, you can't get back up into the draft, then I'll take a quarterback. I'll give you the quarterback.
Well, because I think the Burns trade kind of, no pun intended here, burned any chance to really move up with those 2 second-round picks. 47, I know it's only 8 picks later, but it makes a world of difference where you could have probably gotten a first-round talent at 39. So now you're starting to think, these guys start to get to be true second rounders. So it's just going to be tough. All the word on the street is, McCarthy again. The buzz is that he's going top 10, and probably not making it past Mini at 11 if they stay there. They trade up, might even be higher. So that's another situation the Giants have to worry about. But it's like JJ Penix and Knicks. Those are your next two guys, and I don't know if a team values Penix. I refuse to think that he's going to last to 47. I just don't believe it. He's too skilled of a passer. So it's that situation looks dim if you want to trade up to get one of those two. If you're cool with Bo Nix, maybe you have a chance. I don't know. I'm not cool with him.
So I think I might have posted this to one of you guys, and I might have said this either last week in my super chat or whatever. But like, rarely does the draft go chalk, or rarely does it ever go like, hey, listen, this is what Daniel Jeremiah says, and this is how it's going to go. Like, it rarely.
The Giants are drafting sixties. Expect the worst. Expect the worst. Expect 5 quarterbacks to go in the top 5. So they're going to get Minnesota trade in and Denver trade in. It's just going to – I hear you, though. I agree with you. It's hard, man.
So, yeah.
I feel you, brother. I feel you.
With those people off the board, by the way, I think they trade back.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. I mean, that's another thing. Then you have to – I think you'll find back. Minnesota at 11, Denver – what was Denver, 12? The thing is, so
how
if
far?
You have a team,
I think they remain probably in the 10 somewhere. Probably in the 10.
Well, there's nobody. Here's the problem.
Within the top 10.
I'll read you the draft order. There's a lot of teams in between there that don't need quarterbacks. So the next one that needs a quarterback right now is Minnesota at 11. You got Chicago, who'll have Caleb at that time. Atlanta just signed Cousins. Tennessee still just drafted Levis. Then Jets are at 10. You have Aaron Rodgers. So if you think about it, the only team, and then you have Minnesota, Denver, Vegas. That's where you have the trade teams.
But think about it, Speed. Even if they don't need a quarterback, right? So if you trade at least within that 10 and it's before the Minnesota Vikings, then maybe a quarterback that they'll take a chance on could be at 10. The Giants at that point. You know what I mean? So maybe they could take the JJ McCarthy of the world. Or
you got to worry about who wants to trade up to your spot. That's the point. Like, which one of those teams is going to trade up for
that's
who? One of the wide receivers? Yeah.
And you know what else I think really throws off this draft is that there's no like perennial superstar pass rusher, or there's no perennial superstar corner, right? Because those would be the other two positions that teams really like to try to trade up and get or covet, right? But it's not really that type of draft where, other positions are like, I don't want to say it, but I'm going to channel my inner Dave Gettleman, but like gold jacket wearing positions. So, I look at that, and I also think that too also might suppress the market too. I kind of agree with you there, Vibes, on that trade down. I don't know if I can get out of the top 7 though, man.
Yeah.
Maybe top 8, 9.
You missed the blue chippers. That's why the Giants are in a good spot right now.
Right.
Say because they're going to get either one of the top 5 theoretically quarterbacks or 4, depending on where your board is, and then you have your shot at 2, at least 1 elite wide receiver prospect. And if you want to go tackle, you had all the tackles probably on the board there. They're in a good spot for blue chippers to if you want to trade back to our spot or you want to trade up to our spot, we are like a linchpin pick. So it's going to be very interesting to see how it plays out, man. We're going to have a lot of Giants and draft talk leading up to it. And, we're doing another people's mock draft. Hopefully one of these days, somebody gets something right. I think the first pick has to be right this year, right? Like, there's no chance Caleb doesn't go 1, right? Right?
I don't know, man. I mean, he's going number 1. He's going number 1. Now, if I was drafting, you guys know how I do on mock drafts.
Yeah, we know how you do. Oh God.
I can't hear Vibes.
Yeah, he's at Eli. You're on mute, bro. You're on mute. But listen, we appreciate you for coming through and being your normal, happy, good looking self, sir. You're awesome, man. Thank you.
I appreciate you guys for having me, man. And hopefully one of these days I can get up there, man, and hang out.
Where you at again?
I'm in South Jersey, man. I'm in Eagles country, man. But
Dude.
like, I rep the Giants. I love the Giants. They're my team, man. I just, if I was in my
You guys
basement,
stay strong down there, bro.
I'd say you guys some of my shit that I got, but I got some cool stuff. But
Let's go.
Yeah, man.
Well, maybe we'll venture down to those parts and catch an Eagles game. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But
listen,
again,
if you guys ever come down to the casinos or something like that, man, hit me up on the side.
Where you at? What's your closest casino?
I'm like 20, 25 minutes from like Harrah's, Ocean, you name
ready
it.
To go.
I'm literally.
You're in casino country. That's all you gotta say.
Yeah,
country, baby.
Yes, Spiro's there. Don't worry, Spiro's there. You know what? We're gonna have to make that trip, and don't forget, man. We're gonna do a pest.
We'll drag your ass down there
too. So
don't.
So wait, I have one question for you guys. If you guys don't mind me asking.
Yeah, sure.
All right, so I'm a huge basketball fan. However, I'm a Sixers fan.
Oh,
now the question that I have for you, I know it's New York. I'm not going to do that to y'all.
Let it rip.
Who on the New York Knicks, right, outside of Jalen Brunson, right, would you say is the most important player for the run that you guys are going to make?
That's a good one. That is a damn good one. E, you want to take this first, or you want me to hit it? I don't know. He's. You got it.
I'm gonna say Julius.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Julius is probably the most important player, because don't forget, this guy was the number one before Jalen Brunson came along, right? And then he fell off a little bit, and then he came back. So I think right now, with him coming back from injury and etc., that guy's gonna be important. He's gonna be pivotal to make those outside shots, to get in that paint, and also score those points as well. And Jalen Brunson has got to be the facilitator. Like, just that's all he got to do is just be Jalen Brunson. But can Julius Randle play the Robin at this point? Not just trying to say he's Robin. I think they're both kind of like a Batman. But can he play the Robin to Julius? Because this is Julius. This is Brunson's team at this point. This is Jalen's team. So can Julius come back and actually be that guy? He is the most important part of this puzzle in this run, in my opinion, hands down.
Okay. I personally don't trust in Julius. Playoff Julius, he's choked too much for me to give him trust for what's going on. I hope he needs to come back for the Knicks to go far. Don't get me wrong, but in terms of who's most important, I was torn between two guys because Josh Hart. I'm going to go with Josh Hart. I think Josh Hart is the soul of this fucking team, and when he plays defense and he gets the crowd going, he gives me John Starkish vibes. Like, John Starks wasn't the best player on that 94 Knicks team, but he got the crowd going. He did all the things he needed to do. He hit threes when he needed to. You have to have that one guy that is the pulse of the team. And I feel like when shit's going wrong, Josh Hart's going to make a steal. He's going to D somebody up and hit a big shot when he needs to. And it's that Villanova thing, man. They got that Villanova thing going with DiVincenzo. Hey, you know about it down there in South Jersey. They got a thing going. They move the ball. It's beautiful to watch these guys for the first time in a long time. And don't discount OG, because he is so dynamic and such a defensive player that he's the guy that can shut down a Tatum. If you get that far, you're gonna need someone to shut down Tatum or Jaylen Brown, and he's that X factor too.
True.
Yeah, but hey, I want to see. Wait, hold on. As a Sixers fan, is there any chance that Embiid's come back, or no? He's done for the whole year.
So as of right now, he's scheduled to ramp back up first week of April.
Okay.
I know, Spee. I know you're a gambling guy, and I like to put a couple of Wonka coins,
shekels down,
things every now and then too, and I actually really do believe that if he can get 80% to where he was at, he might propel that team back to where we need them to be. He's just that good.
He's an MVP. He's the MVP of the league. If he didn't get hurt, he'd be a shoo-in. But he's got to get to, like you said, at least 80%. And they're betting value wise, like you said, they might be one of the best betting value guys if he comes back and they're like a 6 seed, 7 seed, dangerous little, Hey, yeah. My whole family on my wife's side they're Philly fans, they're Sixer fans, so I'm not rooting against you just yet. But come playoff time, if it ever comes to blows, we're gonna have to. That's what a fan of the month sees is done. You're dead to me. You're dead
as a basketball fan, though, there's nothing better than the Garden rocking.
I agree.
It's good for the NBA. It's good for the NBA.
For the NBA, man. When the Knicks are winning, it's great for the NBA. It really, really is. So we'll see how it goes. But
we said it all. You're the best.
Thank you, C's, man. We'll see you on the next one. Thank you so much for being a Revivalist and all the support. Thank you so much. Tell them where they can follow you, man, because you always have some good stuff too, brother.
I'm Seize the Moment on Twitter. I really just do a lot of like Giants content. I mean, that's really it. Every now and then I'll put out a couple quotes or motivational quotes because that's what I do by trade. I'm a therapist, but
hey,
man, I got to give you my money, man. Okay.
Other than that, that's really it. I let you guys do all the heavy lifting when it comes to content. I miss El Jefe too, by the way.
I know. Hey, listen,
the night off.
Give a shit.
Yeah.
Don't yell at him, man. C's, I appreciate you, brother. We'll see you on the next one.
Absolutely.
Be well. God bless.
Hey, later, brother.
Hey,
that was fun.
Spee, I want to address a couple things, man. I just want to get right into the shit, brother.
Don't waste any fucking time.
X has been buzzing with this guy called Pretty Ricky. I really don't listen. I'm gonna say this. All right. I didn't know because I just found out today who that.
You were unaware of his game.
Yeah, I wasn't aware. I literally just found out today what this guy was about and etc. He's been off the radar. I'm not trying to say I'm big. I'm not. I'm just saying I just haven't been into it.
On ease,
you know what I mean? Right. I got my guys that keep the ears to the streets for me when I'm inside. You know what I'm saying? I was inside. So Spee, I just want to just let the people know what you've been hearing. Let's see what we can address tonight as far as what we found out. Let's figure out what's going on, Spee. What you been hearing?
So first off, this guy has come around the past, I guess, the start of free agency. He started coming around, showing up on Twitter, showing up in the spaces, giant spaces. And, by all accounts, he was hot, man. He was hitting all the rumors. He had all the rumors of who was signing where about a week to, a couple days, not a week. Let's just say a couple days before the national media picked up on him, before anybody else had the rumors. And he started knocking them out the park, almost to the point where I believe that he might have been like part of like an NFL office or knows somebody in the NFL office. I don't know, because it wasn't just Giant stuff. He was nailing Giant stuff. I think he's a Giants fan, but he was saying everything that happened. Even mentioned the Vikings trade, even had the Burns trade early. So built up some clout. Long story short, he gets suspended from Twitter a couple times. He started putting out too much information. We don't know if it's the NFL that's on him. We don't know who's. It's weird that he was knocking him out the park, and it's weird that they took him off if they were just guesses, right? Like if they were just lucky, they would have probably let him go. But they took him out. He got back on once, got back on a second time just recently after the most recent suspension. Comes back, and first thing out of the shoot today, he says, "I'm back. The NFL can't hold me down. The Giants are making a trade. They have a trade in place with the Patriots for the number 3 pick." Shocks the world, right? You wake up to this in the morning, kind of jolt to the system. All Giants fans that wanted the quarterback started getting the juices flowing. We're getting on spaces. We're starting to talk. Then he gets even more specific and says the trade in place is for this number 6 pick, our second rounder next year, and a player. So in everybody's mind, it's like, okay, that even registers. That kind of checks out for what a package would look like. And you start thinking like maybe it's Thibs, maybe it's who knows. And that's when we started getting on a shoot, and you were like, hey, you hearing anything? Like, what's going on here? Is this legit information? So what we wanted to do is hear the guy because he came into the spaces at some point. As soon as he says, I'm going to come on a space, show it that it's me, it's this new account. As soon as he gets into the space, gets his mic, about to talk, boom, he's suspended the last time, goes away. And the more I talk about it, the more I say it out loud, it almost sounds like Santa Claus that, this guy, this guy just so happened either someone was just watching him and watching his every move and then waited till he got into space to suspend him one last time before. It seems a little dubious to the point where I think maybe this guy set it up, but that's got the world abuzz. Tell me what your thoughts are on the whole situation.
First, I'm going to give you my thoughts. All right. First, I'm going to give you my thoughts. Again, I'm not aware of your game there, Pretty Ricky. You know what I mean? If you got some sort of inside information to that degree, kudos to you, man. If you've been hitting it out the park, kudos to you. That's dope. Come on, Revival. Let's talk about it. You know what I mean? But I would say this, man, and to be honest with you, as far as like the Brian Burns deal, and I'm gonna tell you, we had that information 3 days before it was even delivered. You know what I mean? So, from sources, etc., or people that we talked to from the inside, we got that information 3 days before it was there. And and I'll put it on my account. Welcome to the New York Giants, Brian Burns. Everybody's like, Vibes, you're wrong. And they believe a guy named Pretty Ricky. I don't know.
Pretty Ricky.
I don't know. But I'm not the one to break news either. You know what I mean? But that should show you that people do talk, and if he has that information, sure, he got the Brian Burns and maybe a couple other things, because people do talk when things are a little bit early, and we hear him as well. We're just not in the business to release it. That's not our thing. But I'll tell you this, man, he did set social media ablaze when my DMs was crazy. Not only my DMs were crazy, Spiro was crazy, because I called my brother.
Tell me something, bro.
You better go find what's it. I was like, man, I need to go find what the hell is going on here. To give a second round pick and then another second round for next year, and then a player. You got to think about it this way, right? It's for the number 3 spot, the Patriots, which is a quarterback needy team. Will they trade out of that for that particular reason? And me thinking in hindsight, I'm like, man, that's just too little. Even if we give him Kayvon Thibodeau, right? Which is a young athlete. It's the number 1 pick. I get it. You know what I mean? Maybe it can offset, but I'm like, man, I think that might be still too little. I could do Kayvon Thibodeau, and maybe, or if they really want to make the blockbuster trade, you could do 2 seconds and then Dexter Lawrence at that point. If I was the Patriots.
Wow.
You get what I'm saying?
I don't know. I hear you.
Kayvon might be a little bit too small, in my opinion. Yeah, give me Kayvon Thibodeau and give me someone else. You know what I mean?
So let me just reference this. Let me reference this real quick, because the Colts moved. The Jets moved up in this very same kind of trade with the Colts a couple of years ago to get Darnold. They put themselves in the position to do that, and they gave up 3 second rounders to move from 6 to 3. So if you go back to that, you understand. Okay, that's not bad. But then you have to put the QB tax on this, right? Because there's a lot of QBs, and it's going to be at a premium this year. So you start thinking, okay, the 6th pick on its own is huge, because if you trade back further than that, you lose out on all the top 3 wide receivers, and you lose out on probably Joe Alt and who knows who else. Some big blue chip talent. So the 6th pick is big, and then the 2nd is nice. 2 seconds even better. Then you're kind of throwing in another first rounder. And if you look at Kayvon Thibodeau, who was a number 5 overall pick.
Yeah.
Coming off 11.5 sack season, his arrow is pointing up, under team control for a while. So that's a huge piece too. So it felt like something that had some legitimacy to it.
But hear me out, Speed. Hear me out, right, Speed? As the Giants, would you give up on Kayvon Thibodeau at this point? I mean, and we spoke about it, and we're gonna go through it. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Are you gonna give up on Kayvon at this point?
Yeah. Listen, to me, to get your franchise quarterback,
are you gonna give up?
To get your franchise quarterback, your second best pass rusher on your team now, because Burns is in the fold now. Your second best pass rusher is a small price to pay for finding your QB of the future for the next 10 years. And I love Kayvon Thibodeau. I think he still has some room to grow. But what's a more important position, quarterback or edge? And to me, it's always still quarterback, because if you find your guy, you have you have a chance at the Super Bowl every year. If you have Kayvon, is Kayvon going to put us in the Super Bowl conversation every year on his own? Hard to say. I don't think that's going to happen.
Not right now. No.
But has Myles Garrett, does TJ Watt, does he make do they make their team Super Bowl contenders? Not on their own. It's hard. It's really hard. But you talk about CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud now gives the Houston Texans a chance every single year. And it just is the most important position. And if it means giving up on a promising edge rusher, you have to take a hit. And it sucks that we have to take a hit. If fucking Tommy DeVito doesn't come in here and wins those 3 games, we're not having to take a hit. We're just drafting our guy, and we keep Kayvon. But then be the breaks. There's no use crying over spilt milk now, man.
No, I totally agree. And guys, let's get right into it, right? Because we're going to talk about, was he right? I mean, listen.
Hold on, real quick.
Yeah,
before we get to that, we have some super chats that we have to get caught up.
Oh yeah, please. Let's get to everyone. We
gotta get caught up. We're way behind.
And guys, listen, man, hit that thumbs up, man. Hit that. It's about.
Please.
We got 488 people here watching. Get on this YouTube. Hit that thumbs up. It helps the algorithm out. I'm about to drop some exclusive for you guys too. So please hit that thumbs up. Share, man. Let people know to get in here. We're about to debunk or confirm tonight. So let's see, man.
All right. So first off, Tuto, as usual, we have to start a weekly Tuto segment too, because Tuto, man, just comes in, love his energy. Massive salutes to the NYR fam and crew and all diehard Giants fans across the pond, America. Please sap all them stanky boy losers and F players flipped to be losers. I'm wondering if he's talking about Saquon there, flipping to the birds. I don't know. Whatever it is. I understand your sentiment, Tuto. I respect you. I love you, man. And you're right. Slap all them stanky boy losers. We're going to do that, E. We're going to slap all them stanky boy losers. That's what I'm talking about.
I'm going to smack all stanky boy losers. I don't
Tuto does it all, man.
Shout out Tuto. I got a clip of me trying to read Tuto. I think it was awesome. I think I'm going to release it. It's awesome. But go ahead, man. What's the next one, Speed?
Speaking of other former fans of the month, Revivalist of the month, Chris Peace. What's up, my man? The best.
What up?
Super chat. You know what? You see, listen, Chris, you did get beat by Tuto. Tuto had it, but we appreciate you. Listen, silver is just as nice as gold. Good for you for getting that number 2 in. We appreciate you, Chris. You're the best.
Thank you.
And
we appreciate you.
Listen, lastly, but certainly not leasty. Weekly Precious. The Weekly Precious. She's just consistently keeping the damn lights on over here.
And by the way, I just want to say, Precious.
I gotta meet Precious live. Can I meet Precious live at one of these? Let's have an event. Can we have an event like somewhere? I don't know, Staten Island or whatever it is.
Yeah,
Precious,
of course.
We need to hang out. We need to meet.
Man,
Congrats, seize the moment. She's hollering at Steve too.
Man. Yeah, congrats, man. But yeah, Press, of course you can meet her any given moment. I'm sure she'll be happy to do it. But
set up a good time with the fam.
I agree, man. And Press, thank you. We did our taxes today for Revival Entertainment, which is our business. And Press, thank you so much. You're doing way more than enough, and everybody here in the chat, thank you so much. We actually filed our first year taxes as a business. It was very intimidating, but we got through it. So it was fun, man.
This is my friend. My friend doesn't want to hear my Capo Caco song anymore. I don't know if everybody's following my Capo Caco songs. Listen, I don't give a shit, Greg. I'm going to play that damn song until the cows come on. Until Capo Caco is no longer scoring goals for New York Rangers. I want to hear that chant just raving through Madison Square Garden this spring and summer when Capo is scoring some big-time goals. Fuck you, Greg. I'm going to let it ring every damn time.
515 people watching. Get over to that YouTube, guys. Hit that thumbs up. Let's see what we can drop some exclusives. You know what? I want to hold on to it, man. I feel like I gotta click, I gotta wait for people to come in, and I want people to do that at least. Can I get mine a little bit? Hit that thumbs up, man. I'm watching here, guys. Hit that thumbs up.
You see the number go up. The higher it goes, the more chance.
514 people watching today. And then I'll drop the more chance, man. I'll drop this exclusive here, man. Come on. What are we doing here? Let's hit that thumbs up.
We got another one here real quick before we
all
get out.
All joking aside, people, we thank you so much for the support, man. And
we got another one. Peter. My guess is the beat writers national meetup. Yeah.
Shout out, Peter.
Free Ricky, man. Free Ricky. It's true. He was giving us some. I know it's tough because I think this guy was
Ricky, man. Listen,
I think this guy was an imposter this week today. The more I talked it out, but Ricky was doing something. Mm-hmm. He was doing something right, and he was like Robin Hood, talking to the people. And the NFL didn't like it. I think they shut his initial one down. I think this last one was a spoof fake account, whatever the hell you want to call it. But I don't know, man. It sucks. And
I agree, man. Listen,
one more time, Chris, you're the best. I'd rather hear back in the New York Groove. Hey, listen, we'll let that rip too. Hopefully, New York Giants could let that rip, and we get a quarterback that could lead us to some fucking touchdowns next year, huh? I don't know.
Speed,
take us where you want to go.
Let's get to it, Speed. Because honestly, of course, everything was set up ablaze, right? I mean, have Pretty Ricky's been on point? Because I think you had to put me on and give me some back research. Yeah, he's been on point for a couple things. You know what I mean? I'll give him that, But today I have some questions. Okay.
Ooh.
I have some questions if that has any validity to it. And when someone's hitting things out the park, you just go, man, like, okay, this guy might be telling the truth here. He hit it out the park. But you have people that are attached to the team per se. And some people don't believe some of the stuff they say because I guess it's hard to believe. Now, listen, a lot of people want a quarterback. I get it. But let's not jump out the window yet, people. Not yet. Okay.
They're ready.
I know. Anything that involves a quarterback and etc., people want it, and they want it now. I get it, people. We want a quarterback, and we need to win. I get it. I'm in that same boat as you, but I do control myself when I hear certain things, okay? Or if I hear it from certain people, then I go, "Woo,
wise words,
possibility." Okay,
wise words for me.
I didn't even go to journalist school, and I just go, "Hey, I got to chase the facts before I did it." So I took his information. It's simple, guys. You go and ask the people that went to school for this stuff, all right? That does this for a living, all right? And I want to not only 3 different people, but Spiro challenged me to get a 4th today.
I wanted concrete evidence.
And he wanted 4 great notable people to confirm this today. And I went to 4. And they all said the same thing when I brought that up. Okay.
What'd they say? To you?
They told me there is no validity to the Giants trading with the Patriots.
Damn. It's like that gif, like the Denzel fucking
and even the number 4 person went into a little bit more detail. They said, hey, it'll be now listen, all things are possible, but I extremely doubt it. They're not trying to part ways with that number 3 spot as of right now. The asking price is too much. It's too much. So as of right now, the Giants are currently at 6.
We're probably thinking it's probably just scraping the surface.
Yeah, listen, can anything be possible? Absolutely. Leading up to it, absolutely. That's what everyone says. Absolutely. But I'm telling you this right now. If the Giants cannot trade up, you might see a scenario where they'll trade back. I'm just saying.
I hear you. It just would pain me even more.
But let me say this:
it wouldn't. It wouldn't. Depends on how far back we go.
What if it's not their guy? Because we keep saying, "Yo, go get your guy." Right? Don't get cute. Go get your guy. If they can't get their guy, then what are they?
I gotta be honest. I'm starting to believe in that more and more. And that and here's the thing that's starting to piss me off. Can I go on a little rant here?
Yeah, absolutely, brother.
I'm pissed off because there's going to be legitimately a large portion of this fan base that when we draft, say, a Neighbors, in some wild world, we get Marvin Harrison. At the worst, I see us walking away with Rome Odunze, who is getting compared to eventual Hall of Famer Larry Fitzgerald. Like, that's our plan B. Like, our fallback is electric wide receivers. And future Hall of Fame potential guys. That's our plan B. And I know everybody's like, listen, nothing matters unless you get your quarterback. Sure, I understand that. QB is the most important position. I want them to draft a quarterback. But we can't force these guys to take J.J. McCarthy or Michael Penix because you deem it necessary in your evaluations that they can be successful as a New York Giant. If Dable and Shane are very well aware that this is possibly their one and only chance to get a rookie quarterback. If it's not this year, I believe in my heart of hearts it's going to be next year. If they don't want to blow it on JJ McCarthy, so be it. So be it. Get yourself your alpha wide receiver. So for when the next quarterback comes, because Jones is not going to be here next year, people. I'm sorry. I don't see a world where he is. I just don't. If you arm your your incoming quarterback with a stud wide receiver, it's only going to be better for him when he comes in, right? So if JJ isn't the person, it's going to be Spencer Rattler maybe later on in the draft. It's going to be someone the following year if it really sucks. Who knows? But I truly believe that they're going to give this Dable and Shane a chance to draft a rookie quarterback. And I going with their expertise here and how they want to build their team. And don't be angry if we get one of the top 3 wide receivers. Please. It's a game-changing talent.
Yeah, you can't. You can't be angry. And not only that, I don't want to settle. I don't want to settle if it's not the guy that you're looking for and you had graded very high. Just don't settle on a JJ. Just don't settle on a Bo.
That's what got us Jones.
Settle.
That's what got us Jones.
That's what got you Daniel Jones. Settling. You know what I mean? So let's not do that. You know, let's pick the guys that the best player available and let's go from there, knowing we can trust the process a little bit. You know what I mean? I'm sure there's going to be more quarterbacks coming out, right? But I understand you want the quarterback and you want it now. You want it this year. But if it's not possible, we got to go, you know what? Listen, it just wasn't possible. They didn't have their guy there. But hey, give me Marvin Harrison Jr. You know what I mean? Give me a Neighbors. Give me those guys that's going to elevate. You know what I mean?
If somehow Marvin Harrison Jr. makes his way to the Giants, I'm going to pick whoever it is and sprint to the podium as fast as I fucking can with them to get that pick in before something happens.
Absolutely.
Because that guy's fucking a star.
Yes.
Neighbors might be even a bigger star. I don't know. There's actual people that are saying that he might be the wide receiver 1. That's how electric he is. And then your fallback option, your wide receiver 3 is Odunze, who again is being compared to fucking Larry Fitzgerald. That's the worst case scenario.
The worst. And Speed, just imagine one of those guys with a Hyatt. You know what I mean? Like Hyatt's just only going to get better. You know what I mean?
Wandale, Hyatt,
still have one. That's not bad. And again, I know everybody's saying because even Ajax, who's going to throw him the freaking ball? Daniel Jones got to figure something out. Like they got to get something out of the quarterback, right? So we got to trust our coaching to actually get something out of Daniel Jones at this point, right?
And if it's not Daniel, it's going to be Luck. One of those two have to show something.
Something got to give, right, Speed? Something got to give.
I mean, if fucking Tommy DeVito can come in here and Tyrod Taylor, I love Tyrod, but if those two can come in and perform at a base level with the offensive line we had last year, with a better offensive line this year and better targets, these guys got to be able to do something. You're NFL fucking quarterbacks, or you're out of a job probably for the rest of your career if you can't do shit.
And I agree, Speed. And here's the thing. Here's what I want to do too, because we're approaching the hour, right? I want to play a little game, because a lot of people saying, just get the quarterback. Just get the quarterback. It's better than Daniel Jones. Just get the quarterback. It's better than Daniel Jones. And we could debate that.
That shouldn't be our goal. That shouldn't be our goal. Better than Daniel Jones shouldn't be the goal.
It shouldn't. And it shouldn't. And Speed, I just want to get into this right here, okay? Because you're the brains of this operation. A lot of people don't know that Spiro is the brains. He's the guy that watches all the film and he tells me and Hefe, watch this, or he just tells us, move out the way and let me take over. So this is his moment right here, basking in his glory. All right.
I like the draft.
Let's put you to the test. Let's put you to the test, man, because a lot of people think you can take a quarterback and it's no matter what's going to be better than Daniel Jones. So I'm going to rattle off some names here that might be there. Of course, we're going to say Caleb's off the board. Drake May's off the board. Of course, we're going to say who else is top 3 there? That
Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels gone. Marvin said they're all quarterbacks. They're gone at this point.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
These are the quarterbacks you have left, and you tell me if it's greater than or less than Daniel Jones. Everybody get in the chat. Get your greater than and less than.
Would this be greater than at this point?
That'll be greater than.
And this is less than, right?
That'll be less than Daniel Jones. Right. So I'm going to put you guys up to the test. I'm going to give you some names in the chat getting here, greater than and less than. We'll highlight some of them. I'm going to throw out this first name. JJ McCarthy. Is it greater than Daniel Jones or less than Daniel Jones? Chat getting here. What do you got, Speed?
I'm going to say, is this
greater than?
Greater than?
Okay.
Greater than Daniel Jones. I'm a believer in JJ McCarthy. I think I've said it many times. He's 60% of what his final package is going to look like. He's a winner. He's won everywhere he's gone, and from high school to college. He's not been allowed to throw, and that it could be a red flag for some. But what Harbaugh does,
this chat's going crazy.
I know he runs the ball. And he runs the ball, and he runs the ball. That's what he did with San Francisco. That's what he did in Michigan. And he ran the ball to a national championship. Why change something if you're Jim Harbaugh if it's working? And he had a quarterback that everybody. The reason why NFL evaluators like this guy more than fans do is because yes, there's not a lot of tape, but JJ McCarthy did everything he was asked to do. Everything he was asked to do to a T. He's moldable. He's a ball of clay. I keep saying it. He's got an arm. He could run. He could make the throws. He can make all the throws. He just hasn't done it enough. And what better way to groom somebody? Draft him at 6. Sit him behind Daniel Jones and Locke for a year. Let fucking Dable get his hands on him. Let Kafka get their hands on him. And let them cook. Let him fucking develop. He's 21. He's the youngest quarterback, along with May, in this draft. Let him fucking cook with Daves, and I think you're going to see a high-end ceiling quarterback.
And let me say this, B. I don't know what all the J.J. McCarthy hates about, because when I look at him and I look at his film, it reminds me of a quarterback that I see now. And again, that this is a veteran compared to a rookie, guys. Let's just take it easy when I say this name. I do get the gap. But he reminds me of Josh Allen a lot, as far as that he can run the ball. He can make some of the throws as well. He really reminds me of that Josh Allen, and what better coach that can develop him will be Brian Daboll. You know what I mean? I really do like JJ McCarthy.
Right.
Do I like him at 6? If that's your guy, go get him. If that's your guy, go get him.
That's what,
you know what I mean?
I keep going back to. You're right, man.
If that's your guy, go get him. But at the same time, I'm not mad if they were to draft for JJ McCarthy. I won't be mad. I won't. That's just my opinion. That's what I'm going to give into it. And let's get to the super, because there's a super.
Well, yeah. Pete, let it known that he thinks it's not even close. He thinks that it's JJ by a long shot, and listen. And to what Pete said, I'm going to double back on Pete, because he actually had another super chat here. He says we don't know what we'll be picking next year. So think about it logically, right? In this perfect world where even the Daniel Jones lovers that trust in him, say he has the year that he had in 2022, they win 7 to 8 games. You're just bad enough to miss out on the playoffs, and you're not good enough to draft your top QB. And what you have, you're not going to bring Daniel Jones back at that number if he just puts up mediocre stats yet again. So you're left without a quarterback and not in position to take one. That's the risk you run if you don't take a quarterback this year.
Yeah, that's scary.
It's a scary place to be, bro.
That's scary.
So
we're in a
Rangers
bad
scored.
situation.
They're down 3-2 late. They need another goal to tie. Shout out to the Rangers real quick. But it's a scary place to be. I'm worried about it. I'm worried about it.
That might change my mind on a couple things, but I'm not going to say it now. I'll probably talk to you.
Listen, we're going to have plenty of draft talk. We have He's the Giants guys coming on. First week of April, first Tuesday of April. Check that episode out if you guys are interested in all the quarterbacks and everybody else in between.
And then, guys, just to let you know, we have the People's 3rd annual mock draft where you can win some cash money if you guess what pick is where when you're picking. Did I make sense? No. But the point
yes.
is,
yes.
Come and join us for the People's mock draft. We pick. I made sense there. All right, we pick about 10 people. April 16th, we pick 10 people to pick their draft pick as their team. So you're on the clock as Chicago Bears, etc. And you can win cash money. So details will come to you soon. 3rd annual. We do this every year. And of course,
nobody's got it right yet.
Nobody's got it right yet. And we're going to honor not even, which is crazy. I want y'all to win money. And we're going to honor a fallen brother as well, which helped us launch the first one. We're going to honor Pestilence that day and have a special guest. So stay tuned for that as well. So here we go, man. Let's go to the next one really quick, because I know top of the hour we was going for crazy. But
yeah, should know.
Michael Penix, greater or less than Daniel Jones? Guys, chat get in there for me. Michael Penix.
Okay. Again, is this greater or less than?
That's less than.
No, then fuck it. I am
great. Oh shit. Okay. Okay.
It's a thin line between great and less than, but I think overall, in terms of being a passer, JJ Penix. Too many Guinness.
I see.
Michael Penix is one of the best pure passers in this draft. If you were taking a guy on just passing talent alone, you're probably taking Penix and not even thinking twice. That's how good he is. That's how much he can rip it. That's how much he can read defenses. The issue,
I like Penix.
the only issue with Penix is there's actually a couple. There's his age. You might be seeing Penix at what his ceiling is right now, or close to it. There's that because you don't see guys take huge jumps that are 23, 24, that age. So, which is still good. Listen, JJ Penix again is the best passer in this draft. His injury history. If you are worried about Daniel Jones's injury history, and I know he's got a clean bill of health now, but you can't just take away 2 grade 3 ACL tears. That it just doesn't disappear. That's a big red flag for some. It might not be for others. For me, it's got to be a little bit of a worry. Not too much, but a little bit. And the last thing is, I don't think he's offensive line proof. I think if guys like Caleb and May and JJ McCarthy face heavy pressure all game long, they're quick enough and could run enough to elude it every down if they need to and throw on a run. That is not Penix's game. He's a pocket passer. He can move around the pocket. He can be mobile. He just, for whatever reason, chooses not to. And things don't get easier in the NFL. They get harder, right? Like he had a good offensive line in Washington. He had great targets to throw to. But if you believe that there's another level in his mobility game, then he's a almost as flawless prospect as you can get. Right. I think there's a couple red flags that I mentioned that could worry some teams, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's the reason why he doesn't get drafted high. I'm not saying I wouldn't. If they take JJ Penix, say JJ Penix one more time, I'm gonna punch you. I'm gonna punch you.
It's the Guinness extra stout.
If they take Michael Penix at 6, I'll sleep just fine that night, and I'll be like, all right, this is Dable's guy, this is Shane's guy, and they're ready to roll. They believe in him. I'm in. But there's a lot of talk about him being a second round guy. The same talk that it was about Daniel Jones, which I think is bullshit. I think it's bullshit. But there's a lot of talk about he's not going to last till second round. He's a good fucking talent, and he should go in the first. And I believe in him. I just don't know if the Giants do. I just don't know.
And that's the funny thing. But yes, we don't know if the Giants do. But I'll think of it this way. They might, because they are bolstering that offensive line for something, right? And not to say that Michael Penix is like this crazy runner, because he's not, but he can move throughout the pocket. Is what I can see. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't be mad. But they got their guy. They have faith in him. I know they could coach him up. I think he has great talent, man. I think he, his arm is very strong, and I think he's smart too. You know what I mean? But all I need him is to just elude himself, have pocket awareness, and that's something unfortunately our quarterback doesn't have at this point. You know what I mean? So just give me that. I don't need you to go and take off every 5 seconds. Look, just move around and just deliver the ball where you need to deliver it.
And he can deliver it.
He can
fucking
he
deliver
really, really
the
can.
ball.
He makes every throw when I see. And they're beautiful. They're flawless. They're perfect spiral. They look great. You know what I mean? So when I see him, I'm like, listen, all he got to do is buy himself a little bit of time if the play crumbles, and he can deliver that ball freaking hash to hash. You know what I mean? So the guy has talent. I don't know. I just don't know why people don't like him too much. I don't know.
Let's if you want the best out of a guy, draft another fucking offensive line and make sure that the offense get the best out of this guy. Make sure the offensive line is where it needs to be. If that means that JJ Penix has to sit out for 2 months out of the season or 3 months while Locke and fucking DJ take the beating until his offensive line gels, so be it. And then if Penix shows a glimmer of hope at the end of the season, that's all you need to buy yourself another year if you're Dable, and show a glimpse of the future. Then get your stud fucking right tackle wherever you need to, and another stud guard.
Kelly Fisher roasting you.
Fill out what are we talking about here?
Keep saying JJ Penix, by the way. You got to drink.
Holy shit! If I say JJ, I'm lost. I'm not gonna say his name anymore. You know how I feel about
Penix. It's like Justin Penix here. Shout out to our guy,
Justin Penix, JJ Penix, the Michael. You know what? I love JJ and I love Michael. I like them both. So bring him onto the Giants or don't. I don't care. I'm going to be happy on draft night. I know that. Barring a Joe,
we're going live right together. We're going to be live together, so we're gonna put you to the test that night, just to let you know. Spee, I got 3 other names before we wrap this thing up here, and chat getting there as well.
Quick. I'll go quick after these ones.
No problem. I got Bo Nix, greater than or less than Daniel Jones.
Slightly better than. Only
okay.
The only reason I'll say this, and I don't like Bo Nix at all. I don't think he's going to be good in New York. I don't want him on here, but he's a healthy quarterback that's under contract for a good number. That's and he can layer the ball. He can throw the ball. He's got some. He can run the ball too. He is basically a slightly better, a decently better version of Daniel Jones. I think he can read a defense slightly better. There's things that he does better than Daniel Jones, but it's so negligible that I'm going to say no. I'm going to say just better, just slightly better because of his age, injury history, and contract more than anything else. He can layer a ball too, though. He can throw. He throws a decent ball every once in a while. I just don't like his personality. I don't like that he doesn't have a great arm. And there's a couple of things that I don't like. And he's an older quarterback, so less room for development in my mind too.
I would say, man, I should have put the equal in there. I just don't think he.
Yeah, I would. If there was an equal, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he. That's. I hate to say it, and I really want to be wrong, but I think he's going to be a backup journeyman, man. Like he has potential, but I don't.
He's going to fall into a perfect. He reminds me of Baker Mayfield. He's got to go to the right place, right time. He can sling it, but he doesn't have that great arm. No. There's something missing for Bo Nix for me that I don't want him.
And I used to look like before I looked at everybody else's film, I looked at his and I was like, oh man, like this.
He's got some good throws in there.
He does. But the more you peel back the onion, you just go, oh, okay.
Yeah,
and you kind of see what all the talk is about. I'm gonna give you another couple names here. Joe Milton. Joe Milton lit up the combine and had people talking for a little bit. Joe Milton, greater than or less than Daniel Jones? Less than. Chat, get in there.
Joe Milton is all arm and not a lot else. He could sling it. He could chuck it a country mile. He could throw it over them damn mountains, as they said in Napoleon Dynamite. But I just don't think there's anything else. There's no touch. There's no processing the defense. And that was a very quarterback friendly system in Tennessee that he was from. And he still didn't put up big stats, So for me, if you want to take a chance on Joe Milton and if you think you have a shot at him in the 5th round, sure, go for it. Okay. But Daniel Jones is a better quarterback than Milton. So I'd take my chances there. And if it was if there was no injuries, like player to player, I'm still taking Daniel Jones, 100%.
I agree. I got the last name for you, man. Spencer Rattler. How do you feel about that? Greater than or less than Daniel Jones?
Spencer Rattler, from a talent standpoint, is better than Daniel Jones. Yes. Spencer Rattler was one of the people forget this. He was being talked about as a top 5 prospect after his sophomore year. He was a guy. He was one of the guys that everybody was starting to hype up. Then he had a bad year in Oklahoma. He started to make some bad throws. It was a mental game more than anything, in my opinion. He transfers to South Carolina this past year, and he has a bit of a resurgence. He starts getting back on the radar. He's still young. He's raw. He's got some good talent though. And if he's sitting there at pick 70 for the Giants, and I've done a couple mocks, and I think that he can make it, and not based on the mocks, but I think he can make it to that pick 70. That's a range where if they pass on a quarterback at 6, a guy like Spencer Rattler, if Dable believes in him, if Shane believes in him, I can get aboard and I could see a situation where they could turn him into something. It feels Dak Prescott-ish, like third, 4th round value, that he's got a better arm. He could chuck it. He could move. If he gets his mental game right, I think he could be something. But there's a lot to worry about with Rattler, and you're taking a chance on talent. And if you draft Rattler in the 3rd round, is he your guy then? Are you going to put all your eggs in the Rattler basket, or is that going to prevent you from going to someone next year? I don't know.
No, and that's the thing, and that's the thing. Like, you hope that he could be that late rounder like a Dak Prescott and actually come along to be a starter. But if you want to put that together, you kind of look at Dak Prescott and you go, he still can't get over the hump. Like, he still can't get over that hump anyway as you see him. So do you want that type of guy that you have to develop and to continue to develop? And maybe Dak Prescott just reached his ceiling. So maybe Rattler could be the guy where he can be successful, win you a bunch of games, and when it matters most, he just can't deliver. You know what I mean? So is he better than Daniel Jones? I get the talent, speed, I get all of that stuff there, but the NFL is a different animal. And I'm just going with this angle and this angle only.
Okay.
Is that yes, he can do a little bit things better than Daniel Jones as far as reading defenses and etc. and has a good arm talent, right? But I want to go with the vet here. I'm going to go with the vet, and I'm going to go with Daniel Jones, and I'm going to say, okay,
that's fair.
He's less than Daniel Jones just because of the experience level. I'm not saying Daniel Jones is light years ahead of him. It's just I'd rather go.
Sometimes he plays like a dummy, though. Sometimes he plays like
he
a
does. He really does. He really does. And I'm probably sounding crazy for saying this, but
no, I feel you though. I know. I hear what you're saying.
I just don't know what Rattler can do, and especially
Rattler needs a lot of work.
Yeah, he does.
He needs a lot of work.
He's very rough around the edges. You know what I mean? So
but again, this is why we brought in Dable. His quarterback play, like he like his quarterback coaching. This is why we bring in a guy like Kafka. They help. This is what you're paid to do. And if Rattler is the decision, I'd like to see what they can do with it. I'm not saying it's going to turn into anything, but it's better than having a Tommy DeVito. And all respects to DeVito, we love you, but you're done. His time as a Giant is done.
Yeah, I don't think he's coming back, but that's another story. We'll save that for another story. But guys, we want to thank exactly 719 people that are watching us today. That's not what they're doing. You don't understand how much this means to us just by that and the support. We thank you so much, guys. We got so many guests lined up for you guys, and one surprise that's going to come to you. I'm hoping maybe after the draft. Maybe after the draft. We'll do something with this special guest, but we got a nice surprise and a big announcement that's going to come very shortly that I think the Giants community will respect and love.
If it's who I think, they'll love it.
Oh yeah, no, we talk behind the scenes, but it's coming to fruition. I worked hard at this, so stay tuned. Guys, we're gonna be
all our podcast listeners too. Remember,
Spotify,
subscribe, leave comments. We appreciate all the comments that you guys leave, ratings, all that stuff. Shout out Spotify, shout out Apple Podcasts. We try and do the best for you guys too. Shout out to all you guys there. Growing audience there. We're growing an audience on the podcast.
That's nutty, buddy. You know what I mean? So shout out to everybody, Spotify, iTunes that support us, guys. We are trending up, man. So just to see this little old platform, just coming alive and being the people's podcast is all thanks to you guys. We can't even imagine the heights that this can go to. So we want to thank everybody, everyone in the chat that's here, the revivalists of the month, everyone that supports super chats. Thank you. Words can't describe our appreciation. Don't forget.
Before we get out,
we got more.
We can't leave Chris's weekly question out.
Oh my God, Chris! Whoa!
We appreciate you. One more question for the people. From Chris, as usual, imagine you're Shane and Dable. What do you say in a meeting to Jones to tell him he's not the starting QB?
Listen, man, you suck. We want to win, and you suck. We're going with the second option. All right, Daniel, sit down, be the number 2, fetch his balls. All right, go figure it out there, guy.
He's going straight to it. Hey, listen,
I'll be like, listen, this, man. We want to win.
Yo. You're beat up, man. You're beat up. We hope you can find. We're gonna try and find you a nice place to settle on when we trade your ass. If you show something, but we have to move on and do what's best for our organization and for our careers. And that's it. We're done.
You know what?
We're done.
I'll tell you this.
Shake hands.
That's true. And what Chris Brown would say. Deuces, chuck up them deuces, bro. You out of here. You get you up out of here. Shout out to Chris, man. Thank you so much. Don't forget, man, He's a Giant podcast. He's going to come on here the first week of April. I believe
yes.
Speed will announce that soon. We're going to break down all the draft picks and etc. Then we have the People's Mock Draft, I believe, a week or 2 weeks after. Listen out for that details where you can come on the show, pick your pick, and win cash money straight to you via Venmo or Cash App, whatever you guys have, pretty much there. And guys, don't forget we got another special couple guests that are lined up, so listen out for them. We're just locking a couple things up, and of course, guys. Oh, wait, we still got some.
Oh yeah, Peter said to hold the clipboard for $40 million. That's what he's gonna tell him to.
Might as well. He got the money. Screw it. But man, I just want to say, man, on behalf of this is your boy Eli Rax, aka Vibes, and on behalf of my brother, man, you guys know who this is, and that's Mr. Glass Half Full, and that's Speed if you nasty. Now.
Let's go.
And my brother El Jefe, who couldn't be here, shout out to you. Yes, you, the Revivalist in the chat. Please hit that thumbs up, share, and subscribe. We do appreciate all the support. We'll see you guys on the next one. Peace and blessings. Yes, sir.
Eli Rax, El Jefe, Mr. Glass Half Full, the Revivalist.